How's everybody doing? Mic check. Mic check. Can anybody hear me? Hello, everybody. Mic check. Mic check. Hello. Phenomenal. Here we go. How's everybody doing? Hello, my fellow Auras. This is your Aura Sly here, and welcome to the first live stream here at the Aura Division. How about those likes, everybody? Is the mic okay? Alright, I've been hearing the mic is a little low. Mic is good, okay. Phenomenal. Alright, everybody. So, a lot has happened here in January. I mean, I haven't had time to breathe. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a little nuts here. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, it's my first time ever doing a live stream. So there's a lot of parts to it. If you have live stream before, you know. So if there is any issues, please let me know, bring it up. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I want this to go as smooth as possible. Okay, some people are saying a bit quiet. Okay. Alright, very good. So we've got some things to talk about. The very first one, I would imagine, would be... Well, let's see. How about you guys decide? We've got the Winter ASMR to talk about. And we also have the Hogwarts Legacy official release. So, and all of the characters and all of the discoveries that have been made so far. So, what does everybody think? Also, you're gonna see me fixing my glasses every now and then. I keeps on falling. I have to adjust the little fitting here, but that's fine. Alright, so no, there aren't spoilers. It's the official trailer, Green Lantern. The official release trailer. So we can start with that. And what we'll do is we'll watch it. We'll watch the whole thing. And then we'll go the Aura way, frame by frame, and we'll figure out all the little details if you guys are up to it. So here we go. Alright, sharing my screen here. Okay, so here we got, let's see. Let me mute this right now. Here we go. Make sure it's definitely is good, except for maybe. so I can see here some people are talking about not hearing the trailer. Is that correct? Let me hear the background music. Let's see. Let's see if this works now.
Take this.
Can you all hear it?
Professor Weasley! We don't know what magic caused this.
So it's mixing with the background music. Okay, let me try to take care of this here. Okay, is it better now? Sorry guys, again, first time doing this. Alright, so we can hear the trailer now. Very good, I'm so sorry. We'll try to edit that out. We'll try to edit that out.
Your legacy begins now. Hogwarts Legacy. Live the unwritten.
Alright, so here we got the entire trailer. The official trailer for Hogwarts Legacy. And what we're going to do is we like to break it down. But what do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up on the chat just so I can see that you guys are all able to hear everything correctly. There's echo. Okay. Okay, is it still echoing? Last Marauder, how's it going? Just trying to figure out this this sound situation here. Let's see. Okay, is it better now or is it still echoing, everybody? Okay, very good. I hear that the echo is gone. Oh, someone's saying still echo. Okay. Is it better now? Ugh. And all I'm doing is giving us a lot of content, and this audio is not helping me. Okay, is it better now, everybody, or is it still echoing? Oh, fantastic. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's been a battle, but here we go. I'm not touching anything. I'm not gonna touch anything anymore. All right, very good. So let's look back here at the trailer, and we're just gonna go scene by scene here. So again, nothing to see except here we have this witch with a hat, and the voice doesn't sound like the one from Mrs. Weasley, the professor, that is. If you can hear her voice. And if you've watched a lot of Downton Abbey, you can hear that's not the voice of the actress, right? So, the interesting thing here that I picked up was this right here. Her hands and her clothing. And funnily enough, I believe this belongs to none other, and I'll show you. No, that's me right there. Madam Mason from the Hogwarts Legacy Haunted trailer. Let's just bring her there. There it is. Look at her clothing. Her hand and the exact same thing. So sounds like Madam Mason, yes, Nagura Ravenclaw, you got that right. Sounds exactly like Madam Mason, and the clothing is exactly the same. The question is, what is Madam Mason doing by sending us a letter, assuming that we are getting that letter, right? So I mean, all she is she's the owner of this haunted shop in Hogsmeade, right? What is she doing sending us a letter when we are allegedly on vacation? And I'll tell you why we're on vacation. So it is River Phoenix, hence it is a spoiler free today. I am planning, however, to do a spoiler full tomorrow for those of you who are interested. Okay, I am holding the fort. I have looked at all of the spoilers. Please keep the chat spoiler free, if you will. Today is a spoiler free event. We are going to talk about the Hogwarts Legacy trailer that was just released, the ASMR, and everything beyond, just nothing that was released on a spoiler. Okay, very good. All right, so thank you, Merlin. Yes, please like that this video. It allows the video to be spread all over the YouTube world. So, but yes, Aura, so this is Madam Mason. Why? I don't know. Any theories as to what she's doing here? Why is she sending us a letter? It's kind of bizarre. Since we're only approaching her to perhaps repair her shop and buy her shop. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let's be active. Let's give me your theories. I love theory crafting. Yeah, Carrie. I thought was Professor Weasley also, but no. From the clothing and her voice, it is Madam Mason. Yeah, we don't really know that yet. RM Lart 21. As of now, she's just she holds apparently the deed for this shop that is apparently haunted, and we have to fix it and to buy it or yeah. So please let her know. Hey Johnny, how are you? Yeah, we are supposed to have a shop. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was very curious. So let's continue with the trailer. The funny thing here is I want you guys to observe is that Madam Mason ties the letter onto the ankle of the owl. and later on you will see that the owl actually drops the letter as if it were holding with its talons. So I don't know what kind of mistake that is, but we'll continue watching the trailer. So I just thought that was a good thing to bring it up. Alright, so it's a horn owl. It needs to find us. There's the owlery, beautiful scenery. Okay, so let's just stop right here, and I just want to point out a few things. This is a beautiful shot of Hogwarts. Over here on the bottom side, we see the data tower, the Defense Against the Dark Arts tower, and attached to it, at one of the highest peaks of Hogwarts, we have the Astronomy Tower. And I don't know if a lot of you know, but according to the books, the Astronomy Tower is taken, the Astronomy class is taken weekly at midnight. So it'll be really, really cool to get up here, to have a classroom at midnight to stargaze. I mean, that'd be absolutely phenomenal. But yes, this is the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, if I can speak. Here we have the Astronomy Tower. This is also where Dumbledore fell after Snape killed him. And on the right side here, we have the Gryffindor Common Room Towers. Here we have the infirmary that connects to the Clock Tower. The Grand Staircase Tower. We have the Great Hall behind it, the entrance courtyard. And here we have the Central Hall, where the library and the path that leads to the herbology section right here is located. And Hogsmeade is way over this way, past the Black Lake. Okay, so little interesting thing here for this trailer is that the owl is not holding any letter. Its talons are completely free. So, his wife wants a wizard here? Oh, there you go. Wife wants a wizard said that you can see a Ravenclaw Common Room Tower with a patio on top of it. Yes, Draco, right here. If I fast forward just a little bit, right there, we can see the Ravenclaw Common Room, this entire area here. Right, this is the stairs that leads up to it, and this is basically that studios hall that leads up to this patio. And this area right here seems to be an outside location where you can just, lounge and study, looking at Hogwarts and at the stars. So for those of you who are Ravenclaw, you guys probably have one of the best common rooms, in my opinion. I mean, this is going to be absolutely amazing. Let's see here. Let's catch up with the chat. What a fall for Dumbledore that must have been. Wow, yeah. Radio Morales, absolutely. That, if Avada Kedavra didn't kill him, the fall certainly did. But yes, this is the Ravenclaw Tower, and tomorrow we'll be talking about where the Slytherin Common Room actually is, because it's based on spoilers. We're not going to talk about that today. Right here, I believe this is the Divination Tower right here. So, absolutely cool. And we have our first super chat from Phoenix Nara. Thank you, Phoenix Nara, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Again, thank you so much for supporting this stream. Certainly appreciate it. All right. Also, guys, if you super chat, you can write something. So if you have a question for me or anything like that, please go ahead and do that. But please don't feel like you have to super chat. You absolutely don't have to. So, all right. So here we go. So we've talked about the entirety, basically, of Hogwarts. And if we don't have down here is the boathouse, and this is yes, Wife Wants a Wizard recently uploaded a video, and he also talked about the fog. Take a look at it, fellow Aurors. The fog is absolutely beautiful. You can really see that the devs went above and beyond to bring this world into reality, and it's not just the castle and the battle. It's the weather is just absolutely beautiful here. Rachel Kearns 86 isn't the three top towers the headmaster office. So you can't quite see the headmaster office right now. It's actually the very top of the grand stair case tower right here. And there's actually a veranda there, and it is higher than the astronomy tower, and it is absolutely beautiful there. Merlin Stargazer Tim, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my goodness. Just a small gift towards the day when you go get your very own join button. Keep up the great work. I really enjoy your stuff. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's been a ride. Again, this is the first of many. I need to get my feet wet, right? And the best way to do it is to go ahead and do it. And we had a little bit of some complications in the beginning, but I'm glad we were able to fix it. And what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? So here we go. Except Crucio, yeah, that wouldn't make anybody stronger. But thank you, Merlin, Stargazer Tim. I really appreciate it, and thank you for following us since the very beginning. So much appreciated. All right, yeah. So cool thing here is the owl is no longer holding onto the ladder. I don't know what's going on here, but let's see if this trend continues. There's a random person flying, and by the way, if you didn't know, you can basically pick up your broom and fly all around the lands and castle of Hogwarts. However, I believe it's going to take a little bit of time for us to actually be able to fly up as it depletes our booster bars. So that's going to be interesting. I wonder if in the beginning we're only going to be able to fly low, basically contour the environment, and later on we're actually going to be able to ascend and descend. So I'll be able to rise your mic volume. Absolutely. Here we go. Hopefully this is a little bit better. Brock, thank you very much for letting me know. Radio Morales, I believe we will be able to upgrade our broom, as it actually there is a Quidditch shop in Hogsmeade, and since there is no Hogsmeade, then since there is no Quidditch, then the only explanation to that shop would be to upgrade our brooms. Make sense? All right, here we go. And you guys, I don't know if you guys were able to see, but the owl actually enters the Great Hall through this little small window right here. Again, some curiosity factor, but I thought it'd be, cool to point out. And look at the Great Hall. I mean, it is quite a bit different from the movies. This one is more rusty. I don't know. It just feels a little different. It feels more grand, I guess. Here we have a beautiful statue, a gargoyle statue here on the left side. The two banners of Gryffindor and Hufflepuff on the left, and Ravenclaw and Slytherin on the right side. The owl, once again, Aura's not holding any letter. However, oh, hold on a minute. Okay, so this one is actually still tied to her ankle. So that's right. So it is right here. I was just able to see it. So that first frame we watched, no letter. This one has letter. So I think they're using the owl to just narrate the entire trailer. So I'm not going to be picking on that anymore. I just thought, if you were to watch it yourself, you can see that some scenes with the owl, there is no letter, and other scenes, the owl has the letter. So, and again, the beautiful, grand, great hall here. I mean, the stained glass window looks absolutely beautiful. It does, Brock, it does feel very authentic. It is a little different than before, which makes sense, right? The attention to details of the developers have been absolutely amazing, because it feels like it's from the Victorian era, with the large stained glass and its sort of warmth within. They've taken inspiration from both the book and the movies, Nagura Ravenclaw. Absolutely. Absolutely. And real quick here, we can see that for a great hall, in the middle of the day, it seems, not a lot of students. Right? We have 2 students here practicing something across another student. And we're going to see them very, very soon. We know them. There she is, Nat Sayonai, our friend from Ugadu. A random person. I don't believe this is our avatar, and I'll tell you why later. And they are using Levioso to levitate this book, I believe. And by the way, for some reason, they've changed the name Leviosa to Levioso. The spell in this game is Levioso. I don't know where that came from. If you know, please let me know. I'd love to understand why. Something interesting here, too, is that the students from Ugadu, the African School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where Natsayonai came from, they don't tend to practice magic with their wands. They tend to practice magic with their hands. So I wonder if this dynamic is going to exist, if we are going to learn a lot more about ancient magic through the own eyes, Natsai and her mother, the professor of divination, about ancient magic. Because remember, ancient magic is actually you don't need a wand to cast it, right? You can just use your hands. So you don't need a focus point, the wand being a focus point of magic. You don't need it to cast ancient magic. So I wonder what that dynamic is going to be. Yeah, I agree, Armlot 21. Absolutely. I believe that they are both different spells, Gabe. Are you talking about Levioso and Leviosa? It could be, because Leviosa, you have the Latin Wingardium and then Leviosa. So it could be. I'm not saying, you know, Leviosa was wrong. I just found that was interesting that they've swapped there. The other thing here is, look at her wand. That size wand looks pretty awesome. I mean, I have a collection of wand back here, and I definitely want that one. But yeah, they're just levitating some random book across some other students, so they seem to be practicing something. Let's move on. They see the owl. Now, here's the funny thing. The scene transitions from the Great Hall to this right here, where we have our friend nearly headless Nick, and the owl nearly catches him. The funny thing here is that he is not in the Great Hall. This is not a scene from the Great Hall. If you look at the wall behind Sir Nicholas, you can see this marbly pattern. This can be seen from the Data Tower, the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower. So we kind of just jumped from one end of the castle all the way to the other end of the castle. And this owl is kind of crazy. She's just going all around Hogwarts. But I'm cool. Yeah, I know the Grover Ravenclaw. I love his face. And the animation is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, John, you're leaving. Okay, he says, before I leave, let me leave you with this. I think the woman at the first of the video is Fig's wife. And she may be how we learn our magic. So Johnny, in the beginning, we actually discussed her being Madame Mason. So if you look at her hands and the clothing she's wearing, and her voice, it's the voice and the clothing of Madame Mason. Why? I don't know. So that's gonna be interesting to see. All right. That's one turbocharged owl. I know. Yeah, absolutely. From the south end of the castle all the way to the north end of the castle. So kind of crazy. All right, let's move on. Okay, so this right here. Oh, Hannah, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey Sly, I love all your content you put out for Hogwarts Legacy. Thank you so much for your hard work. Hannah, thank you so much for your support. Really, really, really do appreciate it. Yeah, again, I just can't believe that, you know, we are here and at the stage, the game is almost here. There's so much more to go over. And you know, for a content creator like me, there's nothing better than your support and feedback. So thank you very much. Brock, your knowledge is impressive. I feel like you're right on the money with the woman in the first scene. Yeah, I mean, I looked at it a couple of times, and I knew I had seen those clothes before, so I just had to go back and to take a look at all of my files, and then I saw Madame Mason. I was like, yeah, it's gotta be her. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Again, thank you for supporting us also since the very beginning. Much appreciated. But again, going back to this scene here, everybody, listen very carefully to what Professor Weasley, Matilda Weasley, the Deputy Headmaster of Hogwarts, says. We don't know what magic caused this. We don't know what magic caused this. So, is this in the beginning of the school year? Is this in the middle of the school year? I guess that's the first question that I have. And the reason I'm asking this question is because if you look at the students, they're not all wearing robes. Some of them are actually wearing, regular daily clothing for that time. This one right here looks to be wearing a Hufflepuff tie, but regular clothing. So the first thing that I want to talk about here is robes. I guess we don't have to wear the robes when we go out there to the classrooms and about the school. I understand when you're off, but I've always thought that when you're having a class, you would wear the robes. The other assumption that I have is that those students wearing the robes, they were having a Defense Against the Dark Arts class. Something happened around where they are. Then some of the students who were off came into the classroom trying to figure out what was going on. And Professor Weasley somehow came to this place, which is also oddly interesting, to basically talk to them and say, we don't know what caused this. Caused what? Right? She's referring to Asian magic, Philip Chigallo. Absolutely. I think you're right on the money. I think that's exactly it. I think she is indeed referring to ancient magic. But what happened? We don't know. We also have Professor Dinah Hickett adjacent to Professor Weasley. So, but I think this point right here basically summarizes this entire trailer. Right? And the story itself. Okay? But let's move on. A beautiful scene of Hogwarts. Here we have the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, right, where the previous scene was located. However, the previous scene was during the day, because if you look, we have daylight, right, and on the next scene we have night. Beautiful full moon, right? But here at the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, right, so the classroom is right here actually, my fellow Ors. The Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom is right here, and as we go up, we can see these windows, the stained glass windows. They're actually representing the different phases of the moon, probably telling us, the player, that hey, you're going up the astronomy tower. I know, I thought that was a very cool addition. And again, the astronomy tower is right over here, connected to the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower. Right here we have a beautiful shot of the Gryffindor Common Room, and look how many windows there are. We have what seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels, which would make sense since there are 7 years in Hogwarts, right? So perhaps each level corresponds to the year you are at Hogwarts. So we would be somewhere around here since we are 5th year. I'm hoping they have facial hair and customization. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I hope they have a monocle, and I hope I can change my eye color, right? I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. As robust as their character customization is, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do all that, but it'd be really interesting to do it. Yeah, I know, Johnny. This robe thing is all up your alley. I hope so, Raider Morales. I hope I can see a monocle or two in there. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, so here we have the clock tower, the infirmary wing that is connected to the clock tower, the Gryffindor common room. Again, you can kind of see here the highest peak in Hogwarts, and this is the Headmaster office right here, connected to this massive tower. Let's continue. The owl just flies away towards the Forbidden Forest. And here we have two students who are about to be dead. I don't see any other way. I mean, look how many spiders these two are fighting. And they're using what seems to be Glacius, the freezing spell, and Incendio. Try to set these spiders aflame. Yeah. I don't know what's going on here, but they're basically completely surrounded by these. I mean, look at that. How many spiders? I think there are a total of 9 spiders last time I counted. So, yeah, good luck. Again, this scene basically shows us how beautiful the Forbidden Forest is. Nothing crazy to see here except these giant spiders. Note, I don't think these are acromantulas. There, I said it. I don't think these are acromantulas. I think these are just giant spiders. I think there was a massive debate over on Twitch, in Instagram, and other platforms, and a lot of people were saying these were acromantulas. I actually don't think these are acromantulas, and it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that allegedly Aragog was the first acromantula to be placed in the Forbidden Forest, although we could go in a whole rabbit hole about that because I disagree with that. And we'll talk about that later, but I do think these are actually actual giant spiders. Yeah, so Hannah, they're called something else. So on the second showcase gameplay, when the player is actually flying away on the hippogriff, on the Onyx hippogriff, you can see a thornback spider. Sorry, a thornback scout, and it's a spider crawling in the forest. So this might be it. I'm not sure. They do look pretty big. However, if you look, all of them are basically the same size. Right? You don't really see a difference in size, if you will. But I'm open, right? I hope we can see an acromantula. I do, but they are very rare. There's that too. They are very rare. But again, the Forbidden Forest is vast. It's huge, right? And tomorrow we'll talk about how big the Forbidden Forest is, because one of the things that was leaked was the map, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But not today. Today is completely spoiler free. And Barbie says, not every giant spider is an acromantula, but every acromantula is a giant spider. Yeah, you know. You have something there. I agree, Barbie. I think that's factual. Okay, so let's move on. But yeah, again, you can see right here this spider being completely frozen in space by the spell Glacius. Again, oh my gosh, there are more spiders coming down. Where is this owl going? All right. And here we have the first look, in this trailer anyways, of the hippogriff. And I don't know if this is Highwing. If you remember from the Autodesk presentation, that Siona refers to a hippogriff that is being attacked by poachers as Highwing. I don't know if this is the same hippogriff. But we can clearly see that these are poachers, as the poachers in Hogwarts Legacy, they're all wearing this sort of skull mask, and you can clearly see that this one is. This one is basically trying to tame the hippogriff. It's basically chained to the ground. The owl looks at it. They all have a moment looking at each other. And, you know, he just randomly casts Avada Kedavra on the owl. So, interesting bit there. This is clearly a camp. And we can see there are a bunch of poachers here. Now, this is the interesting part right here. It took exactly 3.5 seconds for this poacher right here, who cast Avada Kedavra initially, to cast it again. So, does this mean that the poachers or our enemies are not going to have to deal with the same cooldown that we're going to have to deal with? Right? Because if you guys remember from the Dark Arts Arena, from the second gameplay showcase, if you didn't drink that focus point, it would take forever for the Avada Kedavra, Crucio, and Imperio to charge back up. Draco, not all green spells are Avada Kedavra. I agree. However, he did say Avada Kedavra. And I'll go back so you guys can listen to it. There it is. There it is. Avada Kedavra. And it looks basically exactly the same. So my assumption, anyways, is that is Avada Kedavra. Right? Ravenwolf says, and can they hit us on a broom or a mount? I believe so, Ravenwolf. I believe that is going to be a possibility, and I think this is exactly what they were trying to hint with that right there. Is that if you're flying around, don't feel like you're safe. You can get hit, and you can fall off a broom and probably take a lot of damage, if not die. So interesting bit there, and not just with the broom, with the ground mount, right, the grab horn, and with our flying mounts, the Thastral or the Hippogriff. So there we go. And here we have again our owl going towards this Hebridean black dragon, and this dragon has been featured throughout basically most of the Hogwarts Legacy content. I don't believe there are multiple Hebridean dragons in this game, because Hebridean dragons are actually very territorial. So they cover a very large area. If you think about bears, right, grizzly bears, they usually tend to cover a very large area, and that's their domain. Dragons is kind of the same. And this one is very vicious, one of the most vicious dragons. And it is native from the Scottish Isles, so that's probably why we have him in the game. And this one doesn't look particularly happy. Micah, hello, thank you for joining us. It's great to have you here. All right, so let's move on here, and it looks like again these are initially. I thought these were poachers. Hear me out. But if you look at them right here, we have these two male figures behind a female figure, and they're not wearing the mask. You know, the skull mask that the poachers wear. They're not wearing the mask. And it seems like when she's casting Protego to protect herself from the flames of the Hebridean Black, the people behind her are in a position of they're cowling. They're afraid. They don't have wands. Are these muggles? Are these muggles? So Brock says, I believe that this fight scene is after the dragon is freed from the past video. It could be, but are you referring to the video with Poppy Sweeting and the Avatar, Brock? Please let me know. But yeah, so she's casting Protego, and if those two behind her were wizards, they'd be probably casting Protego also. But they're not. They're afraid. And they don't have wands. So I'm a little confused here. I don't know if this is an aura protecting muggles who were just wandering about, Yeah, what do you all think? They're not attacking the dragon, they're kind of passive defensive. Yeah, Barbie, absolutely. So what are they doing there? Right? That's the question. Because we saw a scene before with poachers trying to, well, defending themselves from the dragon. But this one is not it. This one's not it. So I wonder why we have two potential muggles and a random aura protecting them. Why would they be doing there? Hannah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she's protecting them. Look, if we just go frame by frame, we can see they're behind her. The Hebridean Black doesn't seem to be in chains, though. It's almost like it landed here, and maybe they were caught unaware. Alright, so the Protego fades. It's about to attack again. The two people in the back are not doing anything. And then, squirrel. An owl appears. So, time for some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, the owls just distracts and saves everybody's lives. I think this may be telegraphing that in the game we may be able to protect muggles. Micah, that's a very, very, very good point. That's a very, very good point. It could very much be that, right? Also, I'm gonna throw in the place music when we're done with this, and please let me know if that goes a little high on the volume. But let's keep going. So the dragon completely looks away, doesn't care about those people anymore. The focus is on this horned owl. For whatever reason, that's the focus. I don't know why. I've heard some people talking about the fact that because dragons are basically made innately of ancient magic, it is able to sense something, that this owl is bringing something to someone, us, right, that has that ability to sense and wield ancient magic. I don't know. But the fact that one owl is able to completely distract a dragon from killing 3 people for whatever reason, that seems a little bit far-fetched to me. Okay. That's fire. Now here's the interesting bit. This horned owl, it is now holding the letter in its talons. It's not in the ankle anymore. It's just holding the letter now. I think this was just placed there for convenience. I don't want to overthink this. I don't think this was anything crazy. But must have been a developer mistake or something. But yeah. The most important part here is that look at the scenery. It's snowing. It is snowing. So, this tells me that when the owl drops the letter and we catch it, this is not the beginning of the year, because that would have been in August and September, and that doesn't snow, right? There is no snow there in London during that time. So I'm wondering here, if we were in our winter vacation, right? Something happened, and we got this letter from Hogwarts telling us to go back. This is obviously a cutscene. Doesn't seem that this is going to be playable. At least I don't think the developers have actually built London, right? We can see this is London because right here we have the Westminster clock where the Big Ben is, right? The bell. And we can see the Victorian houses. And if you look at the ground, you see snow scattered about, right? So this isn't a winter. So it's happening in the middle of the school year, not in the beginning. My first impression when I first watched this was, oh, this is the letter from Hogwarts, right? Saying that we're welcome to go to the school. Hannah says, so different owls? It could be. It could be, although those were two different those were horned owls, and they seemed very similar. So maybe a letter to the shop. It could be. It could be that we completed. And this kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? We completed the Hogsmeade Haunted Shop quest, right? In October, Halloween, right? It would be fitting. And then we go off on our winter vacation, and then Madame Mason sends her a letter with the deed, or maybe something else happened inside of the shop, right? What do you guys think about this theory? It's the only one that really makes sense. The shop had snow also. Ravenwolf, that is very true. It is snowing because our school year starts on the 7th of February. Yep, I can't argue with Barbie just making excellent comments. Yep, very factual. Absolutely, Barbie. I cannot argue with that. Radio Morris makes sense to me. Yeah, and if you look after the avatar opens up the letter, we can actually see the emblem of what? Of Hogwarts. Right there. So this is puzzling to me. Because why would Madame Mason, an owner of a random shop in Hogsmeade, be sending us a letter from the Owlery at Hogwarts with the Hogwarts emblem? Is Madame Mason a professor? Right. So that just Green Lantern, good point. I just think this is a handwritten letter telling us that she needs help or telling us of something. This is a personal letter, and you can also see that it's not like an envelope, like Hogwarts would send you a letter, right? It would be very formal with the envelope, with the seal, right, the stamped seal on it. This is just a rolled up letter with some twine and scent, which it expresses that it needs to be given. She needed to give it away or send it to us as fast as possible. It expresses expediency, right? Because the paper, it looks kind of torn, doesn't look new, doesn't look official, but there is a Hogwarts emblem on it, which that's the puzzling part here. Micah says, not sure if you noticed this slide, the girl's reaction to the letter seems like she was shocked she got into Hogwarts, meaning she may already be aware of the wizarding world. Right, Micah, but here's a question that I have for you. Do you think that is the acceptance letter into Hogwarts? Because I don't think so. I'm thinking this is a personal letter from Madame Mason to us. Either talking about the shop, talking that, maybe we went there, we helped her with the poltergeist problem or whatever that is, the dolls and the creepy dolls, and maybe that didn't work, maybe something is back. Either that, or Madame Mason actually is a Hogwarts professor or someone who works at Hogwarts, because why would she have a piece of paper with the Hogwarts emblem? What do you guys think? And then you can see there's a startling moment. Her eyes kind of open a little bit. She's startled. But then she is happy. Right, Nagoro. Yeah, not an acceptance letter. It is too short. Yep, and it doesn't look like a list. It just looks like a personalized letter to us. And all of a sudden, after reading this letter, we are happy, right? We are smiling. You can clearly see the expression here is that of a smile. If she doesn't work at Hogwarts, then how did she get into the Owlery? I mean, I believe that, because Hogsmeade, right, for those people who actually live in Hogsmeade, they have an owl post there. they don't have to go to Hogwarts in order to send a letter. There's an owl post in Hogsmeade, and Madame Mason allegedly lives in Hogsmeade, right? Because that's where her shop is. But now she's at the Owlery in Hogwarts, sending a semi-official Hogwarts letter to us. Maybe it was to let us know that the shop is now ours. Green Lantern, that could be it. However, why would she be going to Hogwarts for that? She could send it out from Hogsmeade. Gabe says it could be the reason why we see characters standing outside of Hogwarts by itself. We were needed back. But see, her face is not of... She doesn't look like she's fearful. She doesn't look scared. She looks amazed. She looks startled in a good way. So I'm wondering what happened there. Maybe she's in charge of the Owlery. Ravenwolf? I don't know. So, this is a puzzle that I'm still trying to understand. But this basically brings us to the end of the trailer.
Your legacy begins now. Hogwarts Legacy. Live the unwritten.
Live the unwritten. So overall, the official release cinematic trailer, loved it. Didn't really tell us a lot about the story, right? It didn't really tell us any spoiler. It basically just affirmed to the things that we already know, right? The biggest puzzle that I have is who is Madame Mason? Honestly, who is this shop owner from Hogsmeade? Lord Marwoleth, hello. And you say, but how did it sense our ancient magic and send the letter? Obviously something happened. Right, I mean, that's what the trailer is basically leading up to, right? Professor Weasley says, I don't know what magic caused this, in the middle of the data classroom, right? And all of a sudden, we get this letter from Madame Mason, and we're in the middle of London, supposedly on vacation, perhaps telling us to go back to Hogwarts, but it couldn't have been something bad since we were happy. So I'm thinking the other possibility here is that these are two completely different scenes that were montaged together to just provide us, the viewers, with the sense of awe and mystery, right? It could be two different things, right? This first letter could have been indeed from Madame Mason, right, telling us, hey, you've got the shop, come over to Hogsmeade to get the deed, etc., etc. Made us happy. Great. But then the whole thing with Professor Weasley saying we don't know what magic caused this could have been a whole different scene, right? And I think it was because if you remember, the students weren't really dressed up right here for... I mean, they are wearing long sleeve, right? It's a sunny day in Hogwarts, so I don't know if this is, I was thinking maybe they were not dressed up for winter, but technically they could be right here. But I'm thinking these are two separate scenes, and they're just putting it together just to provide the viewers with this sort of sense of awe. What do you guys think? All right, there's a lot of things to catch up on chat here. Let's see here. Hannah says there's more to Madame Mason than meets the eye. I agree. We still don't know all of the professors, right? She could be one of the professors. We don't know. And Gabe says, but the students and the teachers are confused because they don't know a magic caused whatever it is that caused the commotion. Right. We don't know. And why is it that they are at the data classroom too? Right? If they're having it seemed like something happened at the data classroom. So, and you can also see that Professor Hackett here, she's kind of calm. She's kind of in a position of perhaps concern. I wouldn't say fear, but concern. So something definitely happened, probably around here, and the deputy headmaster, it was serious enough to activate the deputy headmaster, she came down to the classroom to basically talk to the students. Draco says, my biggest question is, why does the owl have a death wish? That was some route. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, so the owl was basically placed there to narrate a story, right? But yeah, those are really some cool flying shots, though, I'll grant you. Yeah, there is a montage for sure. I agree, Nagura Ravenclaw, I think that is a montage. Gabe says, I think it is only a promotional trailer and not an actual cutscene of the game. Yeah, it could be, right? I mean, the devs have the dev kits. They can do whatever they want, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be part of the game or a cutscene or anything like that. Micah says, Sly, if you remember the Autodesk showcase, Hogwarts was shaking. Alan said in the first showcase that there is something happening in the magical world. Perhaps when our magic awoke, it caused shockwaves. That could have been it, Micah. I think you have something there. Which begs the question, we are starting after everybody already started the year. And maybe that's what happened, right? That's when they started to search for us. That's when George Osric, the ministry's official and friend of Fig, they started to do some research and found us somehow. I'm not sure. I made a really interesting video on who we are, so whenever you guys have some time, go check it out. It has some good points there, some theory crafting, if you will. So yeah, Mike, I think this sort of earthquake, or this the shock, if you will, must be related to us, right? To the discovery of ancient magic, or perhaps the rediscovery of ancient magic. RM Lark 21 says it would be funny to see our character causing small Earth quests just to take down some enemies. I don't see the dragon skeleton hanging up. Crazy theory proposal. What if something reanimated that skeleton? Oh, because it was a Hebridean black dragon skeleton. You're right, on top of the data classroom. Yeah, so again, devs, right? So they can make all sorts of shots. But that'd be some ancient magic right there to reanimate a skeleton, the skeleton of an ancient dragon. That'd be some serious business. Oh, Hogwarts is the safest place ever. Yeah, all you have to do is read the Harry Potter books, and every year, as we know, Harry is just this close from dying. Harry and everybody else. So, but yeah, safest place ever. Montage or not, it is a great video indeed. Nagura Ravenclaw, I agree. Now, they put this together with a lot of care, a lot of love. Again, thank you, Avalanche software team, for doing this. Chandler and everybody else, they've been doing a phenomenal job. And Barbie says, oh, maybe those shockwaves begin when the goblins start messing with the ancient magic. Well, here's the thing, Barbie. And this is, you bring up an interesting topic. Because goblins allegedly have a connection to ancient magic. So much so that they don't actually need a focus point or wands to cast their spells. So Ranrock and plus gang, they have an interest in us, right? We all know that. And it is probably because of ancient magic. But they already have ancient magic. So are they looking for a weapon, perhaps? Are we the controller of a weapon? Right? What kind of power do we have? That's the big question. And Radio Morales says, I wonder what alerted the goblins and antagonists of our character and our ancient magic. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Right? Yeah, so it's these are all very interesting theories. And RMLart21 says, does the Hogwarts letter come with the school supply? So if it was an acceptance letter, there could have been a few more papers rather than one. And if you remember, RMLart21, the Hogwarts letter, I actually have it right here. The Hogwarts letter is like this, right? It has a seal, right? There's an envelope, and the letter is inside. It's very, very official. That doesn't look very official to me. That looks just like a quick handwritten note from someone who works at Hogwarts, right? In some way, shape, or form. Dinner time, Micah. Thank you so much for coming. Again, thank you for supporting this channel since the very beginning. It's been a pleasure having you here, and I hope to see you again tomorrow, everybody. If you're interested, we're gonna be talking everything spoilers. So if you're not into that, then don't come and watch it. But if you are, if you want to learn more about what was discussed before you buy the game, if you haven't yet, to see if it's worth it, please come hang out. And Nebula C137 asks, does the letter come like that every year, even back then? I would assume so. I don't think Hogwarts, an institution like that, would be sending handwritten parchment papers to its students, right? And one of the theories is that we are the Avatar. We come from a Muggle family, right? We don't know about the wizarding world, and all of a sudden we get accepted into Hogwarts. I assume the player wouldn't automatically know what that means right away, right? And the other theory is that we actually come from a wizarding family that are being protected by an order, right? Protecting because they know that this ancient magic is going to wake up someday, and they're secretly protecting us. And in that case, we would potentially know about Hogwarts, right? So two different theories. But I think this has more to do with Madame Mason and the shop more than anything, and this scene being a montage. Alright, so excellent questions, everybody. Excellent questions. Also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and smash that like button. The like button allows the channel to actually be presented across the world and network of crazy YouTube. So it would be much appreciated in order for us to be able to expand and reach more auras and increase this amazing community. So the Professor 394, could the shop Madame Mason owns also be used as a sort of headquarters for the MC? Interesting. She could be our eyes out and around the school when we're not around. Just speculating. Professor 394, you've got something there. I hadn't thought about that. That's a very interesting theory. The interesting bit here is that when we watch the Madame Mason haunted shop, let's go back to it. Right here, everything just seems so professional. She seems very stoic. Listen.
I understand you have a shop to sell. I think you will find my terms quite generous.
I think you'll find my terms quite generous. I don't know if maybe after we help her, she becomes our friend, our ally. Right? I mean, we have allies in this game. She could be one. But why would she be at Hogwarts? RMLart21, I hope they release more stuff like this in the next few weeks. I think they will. I think they will 100%. There's just so much that they've been releasing lately. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all. Joining the Hussbuff, Russell says, Sly, you notice our character is beside the guy shielding from the dragon? Is that us? Is that us, Russell? Let's go frame by frame here. Russell, are you saying the person on the far right is us? Nebula C137, that could be it. But the question is why aren't they holding any wands? They look to be afraid. They can protect themselves. They're not casting any spells. Certainly not Protego. The person in front of them is taking everything from the dragon, and they're just watching and sort of cowering back a little bit. So if that was us, I don't know, we would have our wand. Yes, we are in the shield, my bad. So, so you're saying the person in the shield is the MC, is us. That would be likely, instead of an aura or someone from the ministry or a poacher. I don't think these are poachers. So I think you're right. I think, Johnny, yeah, now that I think of it, this must be us. We're new, perhaps we are afraid. Yeah, but I'm thinking even if you're new, and if you're walking around the grounds of the school, and even far away, you would perhaps try to protect yourself somehow. At least have your wand at the ready, and they're not even doing that. So I think Johnny's right. I think the person casting Protego is us, and we're protecting defenseless muggles from the dragon. Here's another theory. These are wizards. They were caught. The one's broken. And we came here to rescue them. Sinjing, the owl is on its way to give us the letter. How could that be us? Here's a funny thing, Sinjin. Like, we've been talking, I believe these are all montages from different types. From different times. Because we see a lot of snow, and then we have greens, people wearing different clothing, right? If this was winter, these people here wouldn't be wearing this clothing, right? So I believe this is just a montage from different times, right? Throughout the school year, different missions perhaps. So that is my assumption anyways. Johnny says, "Lo, this time I gotta go. Have a great rest of your stream, and I'll give another like here soon." Thank you, Johnny, for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for supporting this channel. Much appreciated, buddy. So yeah, so I think this is us. Yeah, I think Johnny's right. I think this is us, probably confirming that we're basically rescuing either muggles or wizards whose wands were destroyed, or something like that. So, is there anything in this trailer that you guys have found out that I haven't pointed out yet? Please let me know, because I like to know everything. Well, yeah, something that was pointed out also earlier is that the dragon, the flame, starts with the ancient magic blue, and then it just becomes fire, right? Basically representing that dragons innately have this sort of ancient magic power within them. So just a little curiosity factor there. So I think that pretty much breaks down the entire video for the trailer. Anyways, unless if you guys have anything else to talk about the trailer, I think that's basically it. Draco says, just that 3 people are using a wand in their left hand. Is left hand wands confirmed? Left hand ones are not confirmed. However, there is a poster, I believe for the art book, where there's a Ravenclaw student looking over Hogwarts, holding a wand with her left hand. But here, I don't even see that. If I go frame by frame, it just looks like their hands are up like so. It doesn't look like they're holding any wands. Because they would have, they'd be pointing the wand toward the dragon, right? Wands at the ready. Spider Den, left hand. Poacher, left hand. Oh, it's Spider Den. Let's see. Yep, right here. We got a student. Very good point. The student on the right side looks to be, is it a Gryffindor? Yeah, so this student is definitely holding the wand with her left hand. So maybe that confirms that you can indeed be a lefty in the game, which is super cool. Yeah, I can see that, Draco. Very, very good point. Thank you for pointing that out. I had not observed that. Very, very good. Merlin Stargazer Tim says, great analysis slide. Thank you. Not sure I'll be able to make tomorrow's stream, but good luck in advance. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, again, tomorrow's just going to be a lot more about the spoilers and everything else. But anything else about this trailer before we move on to the ASMR? Here's the funny thing. I didn't really watch the entire ASMR. I kind of picked through it. So it'll be interesting to see my reaction as we watch it firsthand here. So yeah, and the witch against the dragon is also left-handed. Yep, you're absolutely right. Yep, left-handed right there. Wow, you guys bring up some amazing points. I hadn't even noticed that. That didn't even cross my mind, the whole left-handed thing. Absolutely, you guys are absolutely right. Alright, if we are all set with the official release trailer, I'd like to move on to the ASMR. Is everybody okay with that? Alright, so let's do the ASMR video that was just released. A late winter afternoon. And I'm not going to play the whole thing here. Just, some of the scenes. Here we have what looks to be, again, yeah, definitely the winter. Some evergreen forest. What looks to be either the ocean or the Black Lake. I don't think this is the Black Lake. You can hear the birds chirping. Absolutely beautiful. The attention to detail is amazing. In the distance we have what looks to be some sort of raised platform. We see a lot of these throughout the landscape. I wonder what those are. Yeah, those stone circles, yeah. I'm gonna screenshot the heck out of the game's environment. Yeah, same. Hopefully we're able to actually take pictures. Vivi, this is the first live that I'm watching in this channel. Vivi, that's because it is our very first live. So a little bit rusty, never done this before. The live stuff I'm working, learning as I'm going. So please bear with me. But I promise you I'm going to try to provide you with the greatest content. So thank you for being here. The scene changes. Again, the serenity, how calm it is, the wind noise, birds chirping, the beautiful, I think this is actually a sunrise. It could be actually, you know what, I think this is a sunset. This looks more like a sunset. Thank you, Nagura Ravenclaw. Appreciate it. I'm really trying. And here we have a platform of sorts. Oh, this is the Black Lake. Yes, this is the Black Lake. We're probably looking as if we're behind the boathouse right now. Because if you look at the structure right here, this looks like the far end of Hogwarts underneath the Great Hall. Yeah, I know. Talking about stone structures, trust me, I've studied it all. And then we have this sort of stone structure here, very well defined, ornate. Probably the stairway into Hogwarts, if I were to guess. Some braziers lit. I'm going to advance a little bit. Yep, confirmed. So this is in fact Hogwarts. As you can tell, I'm watching this for the first time. It is beautiful. Wow. So the movies, the stairway looked very, very tiny, very small. This looks a lot more robust. The structures look very, I don't know, ornate, if you will. RM Lark 21. I really hope this game will work on the Steam Deck. It is going to work on the Steam Deck. It has been confirmed. Okay, it is Steam Deck verified. And Agura Ravenclaw has also confirmed that. Absolutely. Again, more of those structures. But this one is far away. Here we have Hogwarts all the way in the distance. So this is probably near Hogsmeade, because Hogsmeade is far over to this side of Hogwarts. So I'm thinking this is near Hogsmeade right here. It's funny how this structure, the stone structure, looks very familiar. This patio structure looks very familiar to the Hogwarts architecture. Look at the sky, the hue. The purple and orange hues, absolutely beautiful. The sunset, the light snow falling. Yeah, this looks like an observatory point. And this is the thing. This is the thing, Horace. I think when I start playing this game, the first thing I'm gonna do is explore. I'm gonna explore and I'm gonna find all the spots, and you're just gonna see me just looking around like crazy. And I just noticed here over on the left side, we can see Hogsmeade. This is the Hogsmeade station right here. As we see the railroad, that's it. So that's the Hogsmeade station. So this is in fact Hogsmeade. Okay. Very good. We got the Black Lake in the distance. Oh, the wind noise. This is just a beautiful shot right here. Absolutely cool. So here's a question. Are we going to be able to swim across the lake? Or are we going to have to go around? Or are we going to have to fly over to Hogsmeade? Right? What if, in the beginning we probably won't have a mount or a broom at first. So we're going to have to just walk all the way around, or we're going to be able to swim. I think we're going to be able to swim. I'm definitely on the swimming boat myself. What do you guys think? Right, Nagura Ravenclaw? Absolutely beautiful shots. Lori Lloyd, will you be posting gameplay when it comes out? I most certainly will. I ordered the collector's edition, so for the PlayStation 5, so I am going to be playing that on the PlayStation 5, just because I want to be able to have that haptic feedback and all of that. But I will definitely be posting my gameplays. I will be playing live also. As soon as a game drops at midnight, trust me, I'm going to be live playing this game. Nagura Ravenclaw says, I'm sure we can swim, not sure about diving though. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to dive, right? And from the shot, if you're able to come with me for a second to my brain, the Black Lake doesn't look very vast. The movie made the Black Lake huge, right? Super deep. If you remember from the fourth movie, right, when they're doing the second task in the lake is massive, right? This lake doesn't look very, very large, meaning it probably doesn't go very deep, which potentially means that they did not create an underwater world, if you will. That's my assumption. I agree. I think they cave swam. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to dive. Yes, Rachel Kearns 86. Please don't forget to like this video. It means a lot. Thank you. VV says, I think swimming might have to be unlocked like us learning about Gillyweed or Bubblehead Charm and Transfiguration to be able to swim. It could be. I just haven't seen anything to confirm that we're going to be able to dive. I think we're going to be able to swim. I just don't know if we're going to be able to dive in the water. It would be amazing if they created the underwater world with the giant squid. I mean, they have released images of the giant squid, right? So why would they do that? Maybe that's just something we can spot, right? From outside looking in, but we can't really dive into the lake. That would be my assumption. But I would be very, very surprised if they in fact are able to do that. Vivi, I think the Black Lake is a magical portal to other lakes as shown in the second Fantastic Beasts movies or when the Durmstrang ship came to visit. Again, there's so many theories about the Black Lake, right? I just don't know which one is going to happen since they haven't really confirmed anything. The only thing they have sort of talked about or shown us was during the second gameplay at the very end. There's a quest giver at a pier right here at the backside of Hogwarts. And she's asking for our help. And she's looking over the lake. So I wonder what that means. Look, if we're able to have a Kelpie mount, I'd be sad. This would be absolutely, absolutely amazing. We can see the squid from our common room. Nebula C137, please explain. I'm not sure what you mean there. What do you mean we can see the squid from our common room? Please let me know. Alright, let's continue here. And the scene changes. Now it's kind of a heavy snow situation. It looks like we're in the middle of nowhere. There's a tree up here with some lights about it. Very quiet. Are those... This is the entrance to Hogwarts. These are the winged hogs. This is the entrance to Hogwarts. As you can see here in the back, the spire of Hogwarts. Yeah, so this is where the chariots would come. Where the Tastros would bring the students, right? And they would cross this gate to get to Hogwarts. So yes, these are the winged hogs. And this is the gate. So this is the gates into Hogwarts. Nebula C137, Slytherin's common room is underwater. I think I heard the dev tease about seeing something. I could be wrong. No, Chandler, the community manager, has definitely teased Slytherin folk, like myself, if you can tell, that not to touch or break the window in the Slytherin common room. And I think that's going to activate something. Maybe that's what's going to allow us to see the giant squid kind of moving about. But I don't think we're actually going to be able to break it, as it will cause all sorts of mayhem inside of the common room. But yeah, absolutely. Very good point, Nebula. Yep, don't tap the window, he said. Yeah, don't tap the window. So, but guess what? Everybody's going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's going to be the first thing I'm going to do when I get there. Alright, so the ASMR trailer continues. Again, this road leads up to Hogwarts. You can see one of the Hogwarts towers right there. I hear owls in the back. I also heard the sound of mongrels or wolves also. Yep, there's the backside of Hogwarts right there. Right, so right here is a Quidditch pitch. That's the Owlery. The data tower. This is that massive courtyard that we see in one of the shots. And the bell tower is right here on the left side. And it makes sense because this road should lead all the way up to Hogsmeade. So it should basically do a big loop all the way around. There it is, the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, the Astronomy Tower, the Owlery, the History of Magic classroom is right here. We've got the bell towers. And this is that central hall, everybody. This is where the library is, right? And the herbology area is right here over to the left. And divination tower is right here over to the left also. I still don't know what this big tower in the middle is. My assumption initially was that that's where the charms classroom was, but the windows would match. I still don't know where the charms classroom is located at. And here we have a beautiful fireplace with the emblem of Hogwarts in all of the houses. Here we have Gryffindor, Slytherin, probably Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw right after. We can hear one of my favorite sounds, fire log cracking. Okay, so we have a Slytherin, Brazier, an Eagle. Oh, this is the Great Hall. This is definitely the Great Hall. By the way, the Great Hall looks massive. I mean, the movies, it seems to me that the one from the movie was taller, but this one is much, much wider. And it just feels more Victorian. It just feels like it belongs, I think. And you can see the call to all of the houses throughout. Right here we have all the 4 houses. Here we have all the 4 houses. On the other side also you have the statues, right, holding the braziers of all the 4 houses. And look at the detail of this fire, right, on the candles. Just absolutely beautiful. We got, again, more stained glasses up here with the houses. And I don't know if a lot of you watched my Hogwarts location video, but directly underneath the Great Hall, that is where the chicken is. The chicken. Yes, well, probably where the chickens are. The kitchen. The Hogwarts kitchen is directly below the Great Hall. And in the kitchen, they have, the setup is the same, just like the Great Hall with the tables. They put the food on the tables, and then they're magically sent up to the tables above in the Great Hall every time they eat. So, little fun fact there. Alright, so chat, let's see here. Lori Lloyd, you can see the giant squid from the Slytherin common room in the window pointing out to the lake. I'd have to take a closer look at that, but I believe you. Nebula C-137, Slytherin common room is underwater. I think I heard the dev tease about seeing something. Yeah, he said, if you tap the window, something would happen, but we don't know exactly what is going to happen. Yep, don't tap the window. Did they show us the winter time windows? Boston mentioned seasonal windows. Is it just different tints? Yeah, it's just different colors and setup, actually. Like the fall ones, they have that sort of orange hue and yellow hue, and the summer ones, they have like a tree, I believe, that takes over the shape of the window. And we have a random cottage of sorts. I don't know whose cottage this is. Just a random cottage. Just see a clothing line. See that crooked chimney. Very Harry Potterish. I don't hear anything but wind. Pans out a little bit. Definitely see a massive uphill of a mountain on the far side. Where's the chickens? I know, Vivi, I want some chicken. Although that dragon almost had some Kentucky Fried Chicken. That almost happened. So nothing really crazy here to observe. It just looks like a random cottage in the middle of nowhere. Anybody knows? I mean, there's someone in there because I see smoke out of the chute of the fireplace, the chimney rather. And here we have Dogweed and Deathcap. So this is a story Hogsmeade. So is that the same cottage? Interesting. It seems that way. It's kind of remote, probably away from the village of Hogsmeade then. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Dogweed and Deathcap is a store in Hogsmeade that was confirmed to be in a game during the showcase 2 during combat, when we touch the what is it called, the tool wheel. We select, I believe, the Mandrake or the Chinese chomping cabbage or the venomous tentacula, one of those three, and it says that you can find them at Dogweed and Deathcap. So this is a place where we can purchase all sorts of dangerous plants to help us in a battlefield, and probably some potion ingredients also. Wonder how many buildings we can really enter. Nebula C-137. Not all buildings, I'm going to assume. Not all buildings we're going to be able to enter. However, the buildings that they are showing, we're probably going to be able to. Well, look how fun that is right there. Yeah, it almost reminds me of the Weasleys a little bit. Interesting. Very Tim Burton-esque, if you ask me, with the crooked architecture and everything. The snow falling ever so softly on the ground, the wind noise, the trees moving. I mean, the attention to detail is absolutely beautiful here. But very remote location. I actually thought that Dogweed and Deathcap was going to be closer to the village, but this one seems a little bit further out. So, interesting. See a fire burning over here in the distance. Here we are back at Hogwarts. This is the same path that leads up to the Hogwarts gates we were just talking about earlier. This is right here the History of Magic classroom with those stained glasses of Merlin. The Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, the Owlry right there. The Care of Magical Creature classroom right over here on the right side. That chimney gives me anxiety. Yeah, I know, Vivi. It's almost like it's gonna fall off. And yeah, I just saw the nebula. Yeah, I can't wait to be sorted. Right? And tell me, how many of you have linked your account, your Hogwarts Legacy account, to the WB account? Because remember, if you do that, you get all sorts of things, but you can actually bring your house into game. You can be sorted into your house. I think that's kind of cool. RMLart21, I'm definitely getting the soundtrack for the game. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wish that was part of the collector's edition. You know, don't even get me started on that. I got it for content purposes only. But I wish that there was part of that. That would have been amazing. Yeah, I highly recommend that you guys link your accounts if you can, right? Or, you know, you can just roll the dice and see what the sorting hat gives you. You know, I'm kind of interested to see how the game mechanics will allow you to choose your house, or how randomized it's going to be, right? If it chooses for you, that is. Beautiful scene. And I think that basically brings us to the end of the winter ASMR. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. What do you guys think about the winter ASMR? What is your favorite winter ASMR? Because we've gotten a summer, we've got a spring, summer, a fall, and a winter. So we've done the whole loop. Which one is your favorite? Nagura Ravenclaw says, even if we link our account, we are not locked. We can still choose another house if we want to. Absolutely. Yep, you can most certainly do that. Vivi says, I want to roleplay as Petunia, and I'm wondering what house she would be in. I think we all know what house she would be in. And look, I'm a Slytherin. I'm just saying. Green Lantern says, am I the only one thinking, holy crap, this is VR, this in VR would be insane. It's so authentic and real that I would just want to stay jacked in. Funny you say that. I have the PlayStation VR, when it came out with the PlayStation 4, and I'm also on the wait list for the PSVR 2. So if this game has the ability to do VR, it's going to blow my mind, right? I don't have the Oculus or any of the PC stuff, although I'm thinking about getting those because I do like PC gaming, and those are much better than PlayStation's VR. But yeah, it would be. Can you imagine playing this game on VR? That's it. My life would be forfeit. That would be it. Vivi says, I like the winter one because we don't have snow where I am. Oh yeah, well where I am, there's plenty of snow. I'm even wearing a little Slytherin scarf here because there's snow on the ground here. So, but yeah, snow is beautiful. It can also be a little bit of a pain if you're not used to it. Barbie says, I like the spring one because of the rain sound. Yeah. It's funny because this one the winter one's a lot more serene, if you will. Right? There is a level of serenity to a snowfall, right? Especially when it's nighttime. It's very soothing, very, very calming. Unless if you have to shovel. Then it's like, oh, here we go. But the spring one, we had a lot of the birds, right? A lot of nature. Summer was more about the summer vibe, right? The warmth, the sound of the water. That was definitely a focus for that ASMR. So every ASMR had their own focus. The Professor 394 says, I like the summer ASMR, warm outdoors with lots of greenery. Yeah. Absolutely. Green Lantern says, I mean, it would have to be like 120 FPS and super smooth, but yeah, it'd be like Matrix 7. Yeah, exactly. I would never want to leave. But yeah, it would have to be super high in FPS and super smooth. So I don't think we're quite there yet, although I haven't really seen what the PSVR 2 is capable of. But I have friends who have the Oculus versions, the higher end versions. There's one that's super good, and it's allegedly amazing. It's out of this world. So it's also extremely expensive, but yeah, it would be amazing, absolutely. My personal ASMR so far, I would have to say it was the fall ASMR. It's also my favorite season, so it was nice seeing the statue of Hengist in Hogsmeade, with the decorations and the colors and the pumpkin patch. That was really cool to see. The foliage was absolutely beautiful. The lighting was great. So that was my favorite ASMR. Draco, the winter ASMR for me, just the aesthetics alone made it perfect. Yeah, it definitely calls for that Harry Potter mood, doesn't it? Like when I watched the winter ASMR just now, that's the first thing that came to my mind. It hit hard, right? It was like, wow, this is definitely part of that Harry Potter world we've grown to love, right? So, but yeah, my favorite, the fall, but for me, I'm a little biased as far as that's concerned. Nagura Ravenclaw, yeah, I love the fall too. Yeah. I mean, they're all great. I mean, they all have, their amazing sceneries. It's just that for me, the fall ASMR hit it out of the park. For me, it's the fall, the winter, the spring, and then the summer. The summer was my least favorite, but it's not that I dislike. It was just my least favorite. Yeah, they're all great for sure. I love the fall ASMR. Those rich colors were so nice and calming. Yeah, Draven, exactly. And that allowed us to basically see the contrast of the game, right? All the different colors. I mean, just absolutely, absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so that's the winter ASMR. So yesterday they dropped the trailer. Today they dropped the winter ASMR. A couple of days ago they dropped all the information about the professors, right? So we're gonna discuss those right now if we're ready to move on. And just get a little bit of water. Okay, so where should we begin? I'm on the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account. By the way, how fun was that? The buses, super cool. Unfortunately, I don't live in London. I go to England frequently, but unfortunately, I'm not there right now. It would have been super cool to see them. The art of Hogwarts Legacy, and then all of the four houses, and then the fact that they were doing a giveaway to win a Hogwarts Legacy Collection Edition, absolutely, absolutely on point. Love that they're doing that. And then you can see the routes if you're out there. If you're anybody here from London, if you're out there, go check the routes and go take the pictures and put in to win the giveaway. But yeah, so let's start. Let's see here. I want to go back with. Here we have. So we know Professor Phineas Nigellus Black, right? This man right here. One of the most, probably the most hated headmaster in Hogwarts history. He cares more about his manicured beard than anything else. And it certainly shows. He's a very vain headmaster. And I'm wondering what type of role he is going to have in the game. Is he going to be there to thwart our plans? To be the thorn on our back? What do you guys think? Yeah, the actor playing him, absolutely. What's his name? He was in so many good movies. It's right here, actually. Must have passed already. Simon Pegg. There he is. He's a phenomenal actor. He's in so many movies. And apparently die-hard Harry Potter fan for a long time. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. There you go. Yeah, that's him. And he's playing Black. So that's very, very interesting. I love his accent too. That, very traditional English accent that he's making. Simon Pegg is indeed a great British actor. I agree. Absolutely. Most hated until Umbridge took over. Draco, you've got a point there. She takes the cake from most hated to me. Yeah. At least he didn't torture students as far as we know. We'll see though. But yeah, so let's read a little bit about him, and we're going to talk about him. So it reads, Phineas Nigellus Black, who to this day remains at least the least popular headmaster, like I mentioned, and makes little effort to hide the utter disdain he has for his students. He's extremely vain, lazy, and pure blood, with a myopic view of the world and a condescending and unjustifiably superior attitude. Yeah, that shows. He is wildly ill-suited to his job. His goal is to do the least amount of work possible to avoid exposure to the student body. He prefers to focus on his status in the wizarding world and his surgically manicured beard, like I mentioned before. What do you guys think about him? Right? I mean, I just think... I don't necessarily think he's going to play a massive role in a game. I just think he's just going to be there for primarily fan service, and he was the headmaster during the period, right? He was there, so it's going to be interesting to see his interaction, right? Being a pure blood elitist, if you will, with all of the other professors, especially his deputy headmistress, Professor Matilda Weasley. Right? Because the Weasleys love muggles, historically. They're very interested in them. So it's interesting to see. I want to see what the dynamics will be between the two. And factually, I think that Professor Weasley actually runs the school, while Professor or Headmaster Black is basically the face, right? Just stamping, the approval emblem on everything. Basically just the face of the school. Nebula C-137, a little bit of Order 66, and you want Avada Kedavra. Absolutely. Draven says he's exactly what I pictured when I read about him in the books. Same. You can tell he looks like Sirius a little bit, right? When he was, groomed, if you will. He definitely has that sort of black presence, right? The black family presence for sure. The Guru Ravenclaw says you can see the disdain he has for the students. Yep, definitely. He doesn't care, right? And I'm gonna play an excerpt from the review of the actors, and you hear his tone, right? His tone is just absolutely nasty. Umbridge has made it hard to hate anyone else. Yeah, I agree. Rachel Kearns, 86. Umbridge is definitely my number one. I don't know him yet. I don't know Black yet. But Umbridge is definitely my number one most hated. Mela says, I think despite his grumpy demeanor, he's gonna come through for us in the end. I somehow doubt that. Maybe we're gonna bring his demise. I'm not sure. But he didn't die into the 1920s, if I believe. So I don't know how long he was the headmaster of Hogwarts for, but he didn't die until the 1920s, so at least 30 years after the game. Everyone will see the glory of the greatest Dark Lord Kermit on PC. Avada Kedavra. Barbie, I think Black has a minor but important role. Otherwise, why cast Simon Pegg when you could cast a simple voice actor? Yeah, that's a good point. I think he's a strong character. Don't get me wrong. I think Headmaster Black will be a strong character. I think he will probably try to pause our plans with Professor Fig, or at least, thwart our plans, if you will. But he's too vain. Frankly, he's too dumb, if you will. Or he just doesn't care enough. Right? He just doesn't care. As long as his image stays intact, Headmaster Black will not care. I would love to find a way to make fun of him. Yeah, maybe we're going to be able to go to Zonko's. I mean, Zonko's is a confirmed store in Hogsmeade. Right? The joke shop. Maybe we can do that. That'd be kind of cool. Mela said, it's the nice ones you need to watch out for. Yep. Fact right there. Yes, Malice like Poppy, for example, so evil. I mean, look, Poppy has given some crazy looks. I mean, some of those looks, it was like she was about to murder someone. So, yeah, I agree there. Lord Marrowlet says, Phineas Black, even if the word Headmaster ever, you would still need a good voice actor for the character. A simple voice actor would not work well. Yeah, there's also that too, right? They are looking for a professional actor, right? They're looking for good people to give life to this game, right? Because the voice actors do that. They breathe and they breathe life into the game. And if they got some random voice actor, that probably wouldn't have gone very well. But they went far with the voice actors, and I mean they're all really good. So, good point, Lord Marrowleth, absolutely. Malice, oh my god, Poppy is going to drop people left and right with the killing curse. Can you imagine? Right, because we learned Crucio with Sebastian. Can you imagine if we learn Avada Kedavra with Poppy? That would be absolutely amazing, and I hope that happens. I agree. I will be keeping my eye on Poppy for sure. 100%. Same here. Same here. We're going to like Black just because of Sirius. Well, we don't know Sirius. Sirius isn't even born. He's a great-grandfather of Sirius. Sirius is not even born yet. Maybe you're saying, Rachel, that we're going to like him just because we like Sirius. We're going to have a sort of an unsubconscious affection for Headmaster Black. It could be. I mean, look, I'm not judging. I'm gonna enjoy every single character and everything about this game, no matter what. Because I really do appreciate the voice acting, the work that they've put into this. So I'm gonna be able to appreciate this game quite a bit. Rachel Corns 86, you'll say, I've made up my mind. Without him, we wouldn't have Sirius. Fair enough. I'm not here to change your mind. And, you know, I think Professor Black is also going to bring some comic relief to the game, if you will, because of how serious he is and how vain he is. I think it's going to be so crazy over to that side that it's going to be very funny at times. I trust Phineas more than I trust Fig. Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, look, Fig. We don't know much about Fig at all, except on what we're going to talk about. Okay, that's a good segue to talk about Fig. So let's talk quickly about Fig here. But before we do that, I want us to listen to Professor Black for a second. His voice.
Phineas Black is, at this point in the story, he's the headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Look at his gesture of importance, pointing fingers.
In Dumbledore's office, but this is at a time when he was actually actively the headmaster. Phineas Nigellus Black is the least popular headmaster in the history of Hogwarts.
You are here to focus on your academic futures.
He is...
You're here to focus on our academic futures.
Shine on those boots. Do better.
He's not
a shine on those boots. Do better. Is he making people shine their boots? That's amazing.
It's a prestigious position. I don't think he has any interest in children's education or being in any way a role model. It's not.
Look at his pose, his regal, his chin up.
Kudos.
This air of elevated being and superiority.
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the ministry.
Yeah, he's just a bit of an idiot, really.
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? No, of course you haven't.
He is Sirius Black's.
So his ivory ornate hand mirror. I mean, how vain can you be, right? To be asking other people about it. I mean, that's so personal, and the fact that he's asking people, demanding people to know where it is, it basically speaks to the level of vanity of this man. Yeah, I mean, he is arrogant. He's very, very, very arrogant. I completely agree. His voice is perfect, absolutely. I mean, the tone of his voice is incredible. I mean, Simon Pegg went really, really far to represent sort of elitist, aristocratic person, right? I think that he really embodied Phineas Nigellus Black 100%. So, job well done there on his end. Hannah, maybe we take his hand mirror. Look, I'd be all for that. I'd be 100% all for that. Also, you guys also heard that he took an appointment from the ministry, right? And we know that the ministry gave us a book, right? The field page guide to help us catch up to our fellow fifth-year peers. So the ministry is definitely involved in us coming to Hogwarts. And I wonder if that's what he was referring to, the meeting between the ministry officials talking about us getting into Hogwarts. That's my best assumption. What do you guys think? Nagura Ravenclaw says, why on earth would the ministry give him that assignment in the first place? Money. For the same reason that Lucius Malfoy was one of the governors of Hogwarts. Think about it, right? It's a prestigious position of power, right? And the Black family, they're part of the Sacred 28, right? The pure blood families, right? And so are the Weasleys. And they have a lot of money. And they have a lot of connections. So remember, this is not just a teaching position. It's a highly, highly political position. And Nebula C137 says, he's going to help us, but with great distaste. Could be. I doubt it, but I can definitely see your point. There you go. Malice's name carries weight. Black is an old family. Yeah, like I mentioned, Black name is part of the Sacred 28 pure blood families, right? Extremely, network heavy, well connected, lots and lots of old money, so it wouldn't be hard for him to get that position, especially because of, he basically became headmaster to do that check mark, right? To increase his fame, right? To be able to increase his reach far and wide across the wizarding world, right? So he has his reasons. Definitely not for teaching. He doesn't like kids. He doesn't like students. Right? He doesn't like to teach. He cares about himself, his beard, more than anybody else. Right? So, about his image, if you will. But very, very, very cool dynamic there. So that's Headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black for you. And we were talking about Fig before, so I'm going to go all the way up to Professor Fig right here. Professor Eliza Fig, Magical Theory. He is a Gryffindor. I thought he was going to be a Ravenclaw, right? So, interesting there. For some reason, I thought he was going to be a Ravenclaw. He just had that sort of studious aura or vibe about him. But, yeah, great. I think he was the first Gryffindor professor to be released. So, Mela says, oh, he will warm up to us. Yeah, I mean, he might. He might warm up to us. I think him warming up to us would be with the means of torture and Crucio. I think that would be him warming up to us, but we'll see. Rachel Kearns 86 team. Is it Weekly all day? Is it Weasley all day? Because I love Professor Weasley too. Inagura Ravenclaw agrees with Hannah. Wonderful. All right, so Professor Eliza Fig, right? This person here is one of the most mysterious professors and figures, right? Because he's the first sort of Hogwarts faculty that we saw during the very first Hogwarts Legacy review trailer, right? When he's riding the carriage with George Osric, I believe, that ministry official. And he's riding the carriage with us, talking about Ranrock, etc., etc. So we now know that he is the professor of magical theory. I thought for the longest time he was a professor of Muggle studies or ancient runes. But no, magical theory. Subject not really talked about in the world of Harry Potter. Oh, warm hugs for Papa Sears. Mela says accomplished yet enigmatic. Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what they say. Extremely enigmatic. Right? So, his bio reads, the magical theory professor at Hogwarts left behind his aspirations of working for the ministry to follow his wife, Miriam, around the world as she researched the seeming disappearance of ancient magic. So Miriam, his wife, a witch, has traveled the world because she worries the ancient magic is going away. which is very interesting because ancient magic is very rare. So I wonder why she was studying it. It continues, Fig eventually grew weary of this quest, and left her to continue on her own, while he took on the job of magical theory professor at Hogwarts. So he was basically done. He probably said, look, you're not getting nowhere. I don't understand why you're trying to research this ancient magic business, but it's going away. I need to move on. I'm thinking that's probably what happened there. And then it continues, when Miriam was killed during her travels for unknown reasons, I wonder if it was because of ancient magic. Maybe it was Ranrock. And that would explain why Fig is so angry at Ranrock. Maybe that explains why he joined us, because he wants to defeat Ranrock. That's one path. Rachel Kearns 86, she's studying it because it's disappearing. Yep, that's right. Fig felt responsible because he was not there, a guilt that haunts him to this day. He is determined to understand why and how she died and to finish her work. So this implies that, so it says, Fig felt responsible because he was not there, guilt that haunts him to this day. He's determined to understand why and how she died. So he doesn't know how she died, right? But he thinks it's connected to ancient magic, and that is why he's going to try to finish her work. And then continues to say that Fig is a kind, knowledgeable professor and will be one of the players' greatest allies during their time at Hogwarts, with respect to the trials they will face both inside and outside of the castle walls. I believe when they talk about the inside trials, I believe they're talking about Headmaster Black. I think that's what's happening. I think he is going to be a barrier. And the outside walls, I think he's referring more to Ranrock and gang, right? And their quest with ancient magic. So, and Rachel Kearns 86 says, he will be detrimental to our quest. Could be. Because he's emotional, right? That's one thing we got to think about. He is very, very emotional. So we don't know if he's going to let his emotions get the better of him, right? In one of the, actually the showcase trailer from 9 months ago shows Professor Fig attacking Ranrock, right? In the middle of that ancient magic room, if you will. Let's call it that. Before Ranrock attacked him, so it seemed. So was that it? Was that Fig showing his emotions before reason? We don't know. Maybe it's schoolwork and just dealing with being a 5th year student, since that's already strange and highly regular. Yeah, it could be. So that's Professor Fig. We don't know much about him. He's still very enigmatic, except he is trying to help us, with the whole ancient magic shenanigans, whatever that might be, to us. Moving on, we have Professor Matilda Weasley, the Gryffindor Transfiguration Professor, our own Minerva McGonagall. She is the Deputy Headmistress, of Hogwarts, and I believe she is really the person running the show, as we've talked about it earlier, right? So Matilda Weasley is an exceptionally talented witch with a background as a curse breaker for the Ministry, known for her composure and extraordinary wand work. Mind you, Transfiguration is one of the trickiest, if not the trickiest subject to learn. It's very scientific. There's a lot involved into learning how to transfigure something. So most Transfiguration professors and those who delve in that sort of subject are very good at what they do with their wand. They're very good at spells and wand work. She's well-respected deputy headmistress. Professor Weasley has been tasked with getting the player up to speed in their studies and introduces them to the wizard's field guide and the room of requirement, both of which are invaluable resources for a new 5th year with a great deal to learn. So I believe she's the one, according to the Autodesk presentation, she's the one who gives us the book, right? She gives us the book, the field guide book, to help us catch up to our 5th year peers, just like it says over here, and shows us the room of requirement, and that basically becomes our headquarters, our base, right? We have access to the 3 vivariums, right? We have the snow vivarium, we have the meadow vivarium, we have the swamp vivarium, right? At least I think that's what that is. And then we have our potion station, the identification station, and her herbology station. There's so much there. It's basically your headquarters, and she's providing us with that. And I wonder if the house elf Deke that we see from the state of play belongs to her, to Weasley. That would be interesting, right? Because I didn't think the Weasleys would have house elves, but maybe they did. I'm not sure. But maybe Deke belongs to her, and that's how. Then that's why Deke is helping us. There he goes. Yeah, Hannah. I can't wait to meet Deke, the house elf. Absolutely. Yeah, he seems very, very cool. But that is Professor Weasley. And next we have that Ministry official, George Orris, Ministry of Magic. He works. He was a Hufflepuff. And he reads, he's a high-ranking Ministry of Magic official. He's charming, gregarious, and a decade-long friend to Professor Fig and his wife Miriam. And we saw him in the carriage with Fig during the very first reveal trailer, right? He's the one who pulls out the newspaper and says, you know, Ranrock, right? While Fig is narrating, talking about Ranrock. So he's there. So he's part of this whole coup situation. Combined with his steadfast loyalty and trustworthiness, prompted Miriam to enlist his help in solving a seemingly indecipherable puzzle she uncovered just before she died. So he was helping Miriam, and that's probably why Fig reached out to him, right, in this current quest to figure out more about ancient magic. He may have bitten off more than he can chew, however, he will need the player's help to pick up where Miriam left off. I wonder what sort of role he's going to have in the game. And here we have a picture of Professor Shaw, right? She takes her astronomy lessons quite seriously, and they ask, which professor are you most excited to meet during your Hogwarts Legacy studies? She's apparently an extremely serious and firm professor, right? You can see here the students are sort of afraid of her. And this is correct, right? The astronomy lesson is taken at midnight, weekly. So that would be kind of cool to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the lesson. So I believe that covers all of the new professors so far. Rachel Kearns 86 ready for the astronomy class. Yeah, Johnny. Hey, I made it back before the stream ended. Yeah, Johnny. So we were just talking about all of the different professors that they've released recently. So the most intriguing here, in my opinion, is still Professor Fig. Right? We kind of know the role that everybody else is going to have, but Fig definitely stands out as the most enigmatic, you know, the most mysterious. Who's your favorite professor? Let me know. So far, at least, what do you think is who is going to be your favorite professor? Yeah, so let's see here. Johnny says, that's a good thing, as all teachers will have the secret to our success. Absolutely. Fig is going to be a big deal for sure. Professor Black. I really like Hackett, the sweet little old Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. I like Hackett because of her background, right? Let's bring her up real quick. It shouldn't be too hard to find her. There she is. Professor Dinah Hackett. But I think the coolest thing here is that a lot of the professors here are from the ministry. They all have ministry background, right? Hackett worked in the ministry. Professor Weasley worked in the ministry, right? And then we have this George Osric, who's a ministry official. Professor Sharp, right? And Aura, who used to work for the ministry, right? Team Weasley. And also cool to meet Professor Onai, an astronomy professor. Yeah, Professor Onai is going to be another one. She's going to be the divination professor who came from Ugadu, the African school of witchcraft and wizardry, one of the most powerful, if you will, most ancient. So lots to learn there. And then we have obviously Professor Ronan. You know, probably one of my favorite professors, right? He's charming. He loves games. That's probably how he's going to teach. Professor Mirabelle Garlick, the loving. She just charms everybody. She definitely seems like that Hufflepuff, 100%. Her sunny demeanor and flowery language charm colleagues and students alike. Awesome. Then we have Professor Aesop Sharp, our fellow Slytherin professor. Fellow Aura. Had an injury from the ministry. Came to Hogwarts to teach. And he's firm, but he likes those who pay attention and enjoy the intricacies of potions. So, I mean, look at his face. Definitely looks like an Aura. Johnny says, I have to say sharp or garlic as I plan on using a potion / be skill during my first playthrough. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the potions definitely help us a lot, right? We have the focus potion, right, that decreases the cooldown time, you know, for the spells, especially the unforgivable curses. I mean, that potion is a must, right? We have the Wingewell potion, right, the health potion. We have the Felix Felicis, one of the rarest and most difficult potions to make. So that's going to be interesting how we're going to make that. We have the Maxima potion, right, which is the potion that increases the potential of the spell, or the power. And then we have the Edgerus potion, right, the rock skin spell. So far, those are the potions that have been confirmed. And I believe there should be more. But let's see. Bella says she likes hands-on teaching. She's just gonna sick a Dementor on us. Yeah, oh, I hope not. Because Patronus, we don't know. We don't know if we'll have Patronus in this game. They have confirmed we're not going to be able to take our Patronus away. Or rather, take the Patronus from a Wizarding World account. They have confirmed that. Not happening. But I wonder, so that's the corporeal Patronus. There are two types, right? Corporeal and non-corporeal. That shield-like Patronus that we see emanating from the one in the movies. That's the non-corporeal. So I wonder if we're going to have that. Because the Dementor stuff, you know, we're gonna talk more about that tomorrow during the spoiler full live stream. But today we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, so I wonder how that's gonna work. Who is Herbology again? She's so cute. I'll go back to her real quick. That's her right here, Professor Mirabelle Garlick. Right there. She's a Hufflepuff. Right, she grew up in the household full of muggles, so she's muggle-born. And then she went to Hogwarts. And she blossomed herself there at Hogwarts. She discovered her extraordinary affinity for magical plants. She has this amazing sunny demeanor and flowery language, if I can speak. that charms both colleagues and students. And she would never leave her students. She loves teaching. And even if the right witch were to come along, she'd simply have to love Hogwarts as much as Mirabelle does. So phenomenal bio there, phenomenal teacher. She's going to be very fun to interact with, I think. Vivi says, yeah, I think pre-Dumbledore era was mostly ministry-approved professors, or in general, heavily influenced by the ministry's policies. I think Dumbledore shook things up when he became headmaster. Absolutely. The Ministry of Magic had always had this sort of veil around Hogwarts until Dumbledore came. Dumbledore definitely shook things up. The Ministry didn't like it very much. I mean, Fudge certainly didn't. Because he always thought that Dumbledore was after his job. But they didn't like that, because the Ministry would always control. So, control the students' lives, Hogwarts, the subjects, everything. And when Dumbledore came and basically transformed the school, they didn't like that very much, as they lost that sort of connection, if you will, with the school. The direct connection, the direct relationship. Negura Ravenclaw says, I'm curious about the Charms Professor. So let's go back to the Charms Professor real quick. Now, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, this entire live stream is completely led by you guys. I have some points I want to talk about, but if you have questions, if there are things you want to talk about, go ahead and let me know. All right, so let's talk about Professor Ronan here. Abraham Ronan. He is a Slytherin professor. Charms, right? He teaches charms. And he reads, he's jovial and lighthearted, with a perpetual twinkle in his eye. Professor Ronan considers his students' friendships and extracurricular activities to be just as important as the subject of charms itself. In response to having been tutored by a rather austere father before and during his year at Hogwarts, he developed a passion for games of all forms, particularly gobstones. Unfortunately, gobstones will not be playable in the game, but it is part of the narrative, so we're going to be able to see people playing it. He allegedly met his wife during an especially lively gobstone tournament, so he's a very playful character. To the delight of most of his students, his unorthodox teaching style often incorporates gameplay. We actually see, right, his teaching styles when he's teaching us Accio, I believe, outside of the school in a state of play showcase. So super cool professor there. Let's see. Johnny says, I worry about Hecate, as there was a looming curse, it seemed, on the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. So, Johnny, if you are referring to the curse that Voldemort placed in Hogwarts, that's in the future. That's way ahead. So the reason, real quick, a little lower here, the reason why the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor position was cursed was because when Voldemort came back to Hogwarts to demand to teach at Hogwarts, because he really wanted to use the school resources and basically create his army of Death Eaters, right, with the Hogwarts students and beyond. Dumbledore knew that, so he said no. He came for the interview, he demanded the position, he said no. And after that meeting, Tom Riddle, then also known as Voldemort, as we know, he cursed the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts, and that's when that began. So up to that point, this position, no curse, no nothing. I hope that cleared up. I believe that was your question, Johnny, so please let me know if I answered it. Malice says, we're in 1890, Tom hasn't cursed the position. Oh, there you go. Malice, answer that. Ready for the spoiler stream? Yeah, there's a lot that I'm going to talk about in that spoiler stream. There's a lot to uncover there tomorrow. But if you're not up to it, if you don't feel like it, I completely understand, right? I completely agree. I'm just the type of person that I want to learn everything about everything. So, also, let me throw the music here right now, and let me know if it becomes too loud, okay? Let me know if the music becomes too loud. I completely forgot about the music again. These are the things that I am learning again. Hopefully the background music will add a mood to our conversation here. Yeah, she's very cute, Nagura Ravenclaw. Professor Garlic, I believe you're referring to. He seems kind of funny too. Yeah, I believe Professor Ronan here is going to be our comic relief professor. He seems very fun. His hand gestures, body language, especially during the showcase when he's descending the stairs and meeting the students. He's laughing, he's jovial. I mean, he seems like he's going to be a very, very cool professor. Rachel Kearns86 asks, can we talk about how amazing this channel is and how excited we all are to be here for the first live? Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you so much. And this is only going to get better. Right after today, I'm going to basically take notes on everything that worked, everything that didn't work, and only make it better for the next one. And hopefully I'm bringing that vibe, you know. Frankly, this is really a let's chat, right? I bring topics and subjects, but it's all you, right? You are the one bringing everything, all the topics, you know, it's driven by you. So please feel free to ask questions. You know, this is really a let's chat with content. That's all it is. I like talking Wizarding World things, Hogwarts Legacy things, and I'm sure you do too. That's why you're here. Nebula C137, we need a games DLC pack. So let's talk about DLC for a second. I believe DLCs will happen, but just like most games in general, they will come if the main game does well. If the main game doesn't do well, which that's not happening, it's gonna do well. I mean, it's #1 in sales right now on Steam. #1 game. Okay? Most anticipated, all of that, right? So it is gonna do well. Meaning, the DLCs will come after. Do I think there will be a Quidditch DLC? Maybe. Not particularly. Why? Because it's been done before. Quidditch has been done before. Granted, not to the same level of graphics and mechanics, but it's been done before. Would I love to see it? Absolutely. I love Quidditch like anybody else, right? But other DLCs will potentially be more missions, right? Potentially another year, right? Because we don't know if this is going to end, right? Well, I believe Alan 2, the game director, mentioned year, right, as in singular. So I believe this is just one academic year for the main quest, but the DLCs will definitely expand that. The professor reminds me of my uncle. I am Lord 21. I would love to meet your uncle because this man here seems so fun. Yeah. Amela says I would really like to see Wizard's Chest added. Yeah, like Gobstones, right? Wizard Chest, we saw people playing Wizard's Chest, but we know they're not going to be playable. Nagura Ravenclaw says, being good in sales doesn't always mean the game will be well received, but I hope it will be for sure. Yeah, absolutely. We've had games who were extremely anticipated. People pre-ordered it up the wazoo. Absolutely crazy, right? And when the game came, it was buggy, right? The main story wasn't concise. The voice acting didn't really jive. The body language wasn't good. The graphics, everything. But primarily the amount of bugs, right? And don't get me wrong. I think there will be bugs, right? First day release, there will be bugs. There is going to be a day one patch. I can almost guarantee it, right? But I think overall, they've done a great job with this game. I really do. I mean, from the material that they have sent so far, I think that the game will be everything we've been waiting for 25 years. I really do. I'm really positive about it. Right? And here's the thing. I hate to hype. I don't like to hype about a game. But it's hard. Because this game has provided us with so much content and material for us to judge the game. Right? Granted, we don't have the game yet. But I think we've seen gameplays. We've seen cinematic scenes, right? The soundtrack. I mean, the orchestra video was I got emotional. I mean, they were able to incorporate the nostalgia of Harry Potter, the whimsical, happy Harry Potter with the mystery of Hogwarts Legacy, right? And remember, Hogwarts Legacy was initially supposed to be called Hogwarts, a dark legacy. So a lot of people are talking about, oh, well, there's a lot of dark in this game. How about the good? How about the bright? How about the good, right? There's a lot of evil. Well, this game is heavily focused on the dark arts, 100%. So much so that it was going to be called Hogwarts, a dark legacy. A lot of people don't know that. This is just curiosity factor there. But I believe that the devs have heard, right? They definitely listen to all of us. And I'm sure they have altered the game to appease everybody. Or try to anyways. I'm sure it won't. I'm sure some people will be inclined to do other things or dislike certain things. That's the nature of the business. And I completely understand it. And I do not fault you for it. It's your opinion and I respect it. But I think there's a lot of positives in this game. Right? Let's see here. I've lost track with the chat. You guys have been great communicating. Thank you so much for being here and doing this. And being part of this community. It just makes this live stream absolutely amazing. It feels great to be here. Okay, let's see. Rachel Kearns 86 says, I'm starting to handcraft ones. I'll keep you posted. You will probably get my first one. All handmade and one of a kind. What? I love one. I love ones of every form. I don't know if you guys know, but a little bit off topic here. I have the collection of the most, I guess, the rarest ones you can find in the Wizarding world. They are somewhere on my shelf. They're actually right behind me, right here. Right here. So I'll give you a quick show here, Rachel. This one was the, I believe, the 2019 limited edition at the Wizarding World. One of my favorites. Oh, dropped one. This one is the 2020 one from the Wizarding World. This is the Potions Special 2021 special. And I have one that dropped that this is the 2022, I believe, limited edition special one. And these are all super rare to find. This one you can find still, but all the other ones are super rare to find. And if you were to buy off market, they cost way too much money. But I'm glad I was able to get them early on. But yeah, so love one. So thank you so much. I would love to get my hands on one, and especially one that's handcrafted. That would be amazing and would definitely go on my shelf. So thank you so much for that. Okay, Armlad21 says, I kind of wonder why they didn't add the mini games into the game. Well, there's a lot that they need to focus on, right? There's so much that they need to give us, and like movies, there are amazing scenes and things that they have to cut in the end. They just have to. And we'll talk about how long the game is actually going to be tomorrow, right? The main quest versus if you do everything, all that was released in the leaks. We're not going to talk about that today. That's tomorrow's business. I enjoy the mini games. Hopefully there are some. Yeah, it brings a lot of nostalgia, especially with the older games, right? You can do some of those mini games. Unfortunately, we're going to be able to ride the broom and ride our mounts and whatnot, potentially swim, but mini games, not so much. I want to believe the game will be a hit so I can get expansions in future games. Malice, I completely agree, and I am on that train with you. Nagura Ravenclaw. Also, Nagura Ravenclaw, please correct me if I'm saying your name. I have probably butchered most of your guys' names. I'm so sorry about that, but Is it Nagura or Nagura? Please let me know. And you say, here we can see the dev team are really passionate about the game, and it shows. I agree. I 100% agree. The love has been visible with the developers. Absolutely. Oh yeah, we can see they love the franchise as fans, and they want to give a lot to fans. Yep, it's a game that was made from fans to fans. Absolutely, absolutely agree. Thank you for the great stream. I've enjoyed it so much. Brock, thank you so much for being here. RMLart21, I don't know if it's just me, but I remember in a Hogwarts Legacy video, a centaur was ragdolling on the ground during a battle. Oh, so that was a funny video that was shown. That was actually just the devs playing around. That wasn't actually a thing. Yes, there was a centaur kind of ragdolling all over the place, being hit from all sorts of spells, being thrown everywhere. That was just a glitch that they were having fun with. But yeah, I love that. Oh, nice one. Yeah, I have you know I have the one that you guys see all the time that I'll grab. This is my favorite. This is right here. This is actually one of the props of the movie. I was able to get my hands on one of the ones from Lucius Malfoy himself. This is not one of the Noble Collection items, so it came with the cane also, but this is one of the movie ones. It actually has emerald eyes and everything. Super heavy. This is my pride and joy right here. So you see me waving this around in my videos. Yeah, this is my little baby right here. Alright, Draco says, anyone hear about Expect to Go Retro and crew are playing this now? That's why they're all in one spot right now. Yeah, they could be. They could be. I'm not quite sure if they are. It would make sense, especially since they are at the Wizarding World, right, in Orlando. So that'd be kind of cool to see what they have to show us there. And by the way, they have 100%, right, motivated me to start this channel. So thanks to them, I'm here, and thanks to their hard work and the love in this community that made me want to start this channel. And you know, your comments and your presence here just makes this absolutely epic, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So here we go. Mela says, I love the Defiance one the most. I just wish it was higher quality. If you guys haven't watched my Wizarding World Harry Potter Magic Castle wand video, go do it. If you're thinking about buying it, go watch my video first. It's the one that shows the wand, an arrow, and a trash bin, and there's a reason for that. I bought the heroic wand, the one of the limited edition ones. Actually, I think it was the limited edition one. I was able to get my hands on it. I got here and I did a live unboxing of it, and I was highly disappointed. Now, don't let me sway you from buying it, but if you look at the comments under my video, if you go online, Twitter and whatnot, and you see how many people got those Magic Castle wands with problems, you will be astonished. The numbers are insane. I just actually sent mine back today. I received, after battling with WB customer service, I was able to get a return label, shipped it back, and hopefully I'll get my money back, because my one worked for a whole 30 seconds and it stopped. It stopped working while I was recording the video. That's how bad it was. It wasn't syncing to the iPad. The movement was not good. The haptic, it wasn't syncing to my lights. Nothing at all. So it's unfortunate, because I was expecting so much. I wanted that. My kids, my little auras, it would have been great for them, but unfortunately it didn't work out so well, right? But some people have had success stories, right? I've heard people who got second pair of ones and they were much better, so maybe they learned. I'm not sure. Rachel, I'm going to handcraft you one. Oh, thank you so much. Started carving today. I can't wait to share the magic. Oh, that's just amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Yeah, absolutely. They can probably do anything, but they can't do everything. And you know what? It's not the dev's problem, right? Especially the collector's edition, right? Another potential disappointment. It's not Avalanche's problem, right? That's a marketing issue. They have a whole team that takes care of all that, right? So it's not Avalanche per se. Okay, so they're creating the game, and you can kind of see when Chandler is unboxing the collector's edition, his face kind of shows that, you know, he kind of loses the hype quite a bit as he continues to open it. I mean, it's so bad that they actually advertise the box of the collector's editions as an itemized thing. It's an item, right? They list, oh, the wand, the floating wand, the resin or plastic book, the steel case, and the box. It's part of the list, so that's kind of cringe a little bit. I said it right the first time. Nagura Ravenclaw. Very good. Good to know. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, that shows the confidence they have to show those bugs. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just having fun with the centaurs. There's one where they're playing with Sebastian, and he's just being, you know, like a rag doll, also kind of thrown around like crazy. A character is wearing a really cool hat. Also, I want that hat, by the way. I'm gonna find it. But yeah, they have all sorts. They can do all sorts of crazy things. The one is gorgeous. Thank you. Lord Marlet, yeah, I believe Professor Wizard PhD, Professor Lynette is there with Retro, Pink Ravenclaw, Expecto Go, James. They're all there, and they actually just did a reaction video. They're all together. Oh, and Ben, so they're all there. So I wonder what something's going on there, especially when James said, oh, I'm not going to have my Wizarding Wednesday because I'm going to be on a work trip. Look, every time he says work trip now, sus. 100% sus. Right? I refuse to waste my money. Hey, look, I completely understand. I completely understand your point. RMLart21 says, I was skeptical about that one thing. Something seemed off about it. Yeah. Quality is not very good. I wish I still had it so I could show it to you, but I literally dropped off at the mail today. It was just go take a look at the video. Go take a look at the video. The Magic Esther wand, the quality, it felt 3D printed. It's super light, extremely light. You know, the details you can see. You know, the cuts. It's just not very professional. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what the problem was. It had so much potential, especially when they showcased it. It looked like the hilt looked like it was metal in a way. It looked heavy. It looked almost like, especially the heroic, it almost looked like it had leather in it, like on the hilt. And that ancient magic sort of spiral at the hilt looked like metal. And no, it was just like a baby gray color in plastic. 3D printed. It was 100% 3D printed. It's so light too. And look, I didn't expect something amazing. For $150, I definitely expected something, you know, really good. I mean, one of these ones over here, right? The limited edition ones, the 2021, I bought it for $70 US dollars, right? And it's much better material. It has the sensor also that you can use at Universal. So why couldn't they do that, right? And I heard it's the same sensor too that they use, in the Magic Esther ones. So who knows? Yeah, the center bug was 100% hilarious. I will need mailing info at some point. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Just find me on Twitter, and I'll be there. Your division, Sly, _ I believe the Or Division, and then just send me a private message, or on Instagram, the Or Division, as well, and I'll send you my email. Oh, actually, if you go on our YouTube channel, under the About sections, it's right there. It's very simple. It's theordivision@gmail.com. And again, thank you so much for doing this. The consideration is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to see what you're gonna do. I hope we get another showcase soon. I was hoping for a showcase, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think we're gonna have another showcase. We're too close. Within 3 weeks. They're releasing a lot of information right now, but I certainly hope that we will. I hope so. It would be amazing, but I don't think we will. Things are starting to ramp up for the release of the game. Nagura Viglas replies saying, if another showcase isn't recorded yet, then I think we won't get another until it is released. Yeah, I've been bugging Professor Lynette, Wizard PhD, all over Twitter, bugging her. Is it today? How's the studio? It's just, I kind of thought she was gonna do it, either her or Retro, but we never know. I mean, they chose someone else famous to play the game. Also, that was completely unexpected, right? So I don't know. I don't know what to think, but whatever it is, we're gonna cover. And I'm gonna go through it. Yeah, Draven about playing a game. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, they've showed some gameplay so far. Yeah, the chat window in the stream is working. Yeah, about time, right? I didn't think about putting anything up there, or trying to fix it. I realized it wasn't working for some reason. I think YouTube wasn't communicating with Prism, the streaming software that I used. But I'm glad it's there. So next Wednesday we're getting something. Yeah, every Wednesday. So the Hogwarts Legacy mentioned that they call it Wizarding Wednesday, just like Expect Go does. But it seems like they're gonna be dropping big things every Wednesday. So be ready to be on the lookout every Wednesday that they're gonna drop something. So. But yeah, so if you guys want to talk about anything else, are we done for the night? Well, we've been streaming for almost 3 hours. That's phenomenal. But again, tomorrow we're gonna be doing what? We're gonna be live streaming. We're gonna be talking about all of the spoilers. So if you're not into the spoilers, don't come to watch. Right? If you think it's going to destroy your gameplay, don't come to watch. But if you're interested and if you want to learn a lot more about the game, let's go ahead and join me tomorrow. Maybe a sneak peek about your next stream. Oh yeah. So again, like I mentioned, tomorrow's stream is going to be all about the spoilers, and there are a lot. Now, I'm gonna say this, and again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm gonna say this: nothing really spoils the game to the point where you're sad about it, right? They expand on knowledge. That's all the spoilers that have been released. That's all they did, right? And it's from the pages of the art book, right? And there's some other stuff also, but primarily the art book. And we can talk it'll be things about the size of the map, where Hogwarts is, some new professors that you haven't heard about, some new animals and beasts that frankly surprised me that they were gonna be in the game. And some other information about the current professors that we already know about. And a little bit about our origin, a little bit about the storyline. So that's as much as I'm going to say about tomorrow. Again, I don't want to give you any spoiler, but I want you to go to sleep with that in mind. It'll be a fun one. It'll be a second one. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be better, and I hope to see you here. I hope to see you there. And I completely understand if you're not, because you don't want spoilers. But if you do, if you're gonna learn about the game, and I don't think they're going to destroy your gameplay. If you're worried about it, they're not. They just expand your knowledge. That's a good way to put it. Let's see. Last few comments here. Almost 3 hours. That's great for first stream. You're doing well. Thank you so much. I enjoy your presence. Thank you for being here. I enjoy doing this. It's phenomenal. It's something that I've never done before, so it's definitely a learning curve, but one that I hope to master in the future. Ravenwolf says, great stream, you did wonderful, thank you for doing it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here again. And if you're here tomorrow, wonderful. And if you're not, then keep following us on our YouTube channel, Twitter also, and Instagram. We also have a Discord that a lot of you are not in. So go ahead and go check our Discord also. Finally, if you haven't liked this video, please go ahead and do it. It definitely helps to propagate the Aura Division throughout the network of YouTube. And also, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. And support that's huge for supporting the channel. 100%. It allows YouTube to see that we're being searched and looked at by all of you wonderful people. So it helps greatly. And if you do subscribe, please don't forget to hit that bell notification also to alert the ministry you want more content. Absolutely. Good night, you guys. See you tomorrow for what's definitely going to be an interesting stream. A pleasure, my friend. Can't wait to see. Can't wait for tomorrow. Great stream. You did wonderful. Thank you for doing it. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Until next time, mischief managed. Goodbye.